top-heavy. Top 4 are getting the prize pool. But be that as it is, let's do the player introductions. In the lower left-hand side, it is the red Zerg from Team Liquid, Ro8. And his opponents, the Korean Protoss, the #1 NASL seed, it is Slayer's Puzzle.
As you said, the #1 seed, I think he won against Hero to secure those honors going in. And that means that the two of them just had the best records going through the whole season. Puzzle's almost untouchable in online play, and you know, he's made it pretty far in the GSL too. This might be his first big offline tournament outside of Korea. He hasn't traveled a whole lot just yet. He's just starting to build up his name, start getting those invites, and in this case, qualifying for it. And as you said, qualifying in the #1 position, he just doesn't lose.
I mean, you don't want to try to harp on this too much because it's become a little bit less of an issue, but the NASL has a, you know, it's an online tournament, so a lot of these Korean players do have to play cross-server, which is a difficult task. I mean, we still saw Puma, you know, a lot of these guys still were able to overcome that difference. But it's something to be said. It's amazing.
Well, it's like we actually have a hat-trick. Are they cheering for hatchery first? That's a very macro Zerg-oriented crowd.
It's either the hatchery first or overcoming latency. I'm not sure, but
either way, it's impressive.
Canadians are so positive. So positive.
And this hatchery first to me says Ro8 has really done his homework. We see Puzzle actually putting down a Nexus first with 0 scout, and Ro8 is putting down a hatchery first with no Overlord here. There could be a cannon building right here, and he would not know about it. So I really think that he knows that Puzzle likes to go Nexus first, particularly on this map, and he was just willing to gamble on that and go for the 15 hatchery and get that really, really good economy early on.
And that's one of the cooler things about a final like this. Both these guys knew who they were facing for a pretty long time. And we had the pleasure of seeing Huck train for his match with Slayer's Alicia. And he talked a lot about how he had a build actually completely planned out for Entomb Valley because he knew what he did almost every time. And I think the point I'm trying to make here is I think it's so cool for this format because you can really cultivate your strategy down to a fine point and target it at a specific opponent. And in this case, Ro8 might, I mean, you might be dead right. He might say, you know what? I know that you don't like to do any kind of cannon tomfoolery, so I'm safe to just get more advanced scouting.
Yep, and it has paid off for him, but at the same time, the reason he was doing that was because Puzzle likes to go Nexus first. He's gone Nexus first. I don't think he's even scouted at all yet, so this is about the best economy that Puzzle can have at this point. His Gateway is already completed, his Nexus is already completed. He is in great shape, but at the same time, Ro8 with his Nexus, or his hatchery first. Great for him as well. We see no gases just yet, so it will be a quick free base from Ro8. So just going into a standard macro game in slightly better shape than you normally are.
I mean, usually through the openings, the Protoss has something like a 4 or 5 probe advantage for a good 5.5 minutes. In this case, Ro8 is actually already looking to overcome that and tie it up here in just a moment. And a large part of that's because just 2 lings, no scouting, no drone scout, and I mean, he just hasn't skipped a beat. So, of course, it's not the biggest deal. It's not like we're going, oh my gosh, Ro8's going to win at minute 4:30 or something like that. But it's the nice little things to start off a best of 5. I mean, the other thing here too, butterflies are flapping their wings in these guys' stomachs, and if you can start off exactly the way you want, that's a really good way to put those guys to the candle.
Yeah, yeah. As Zerg, you feel if you go 15 pool and then you get your 3 hatcheries down, that's pretty good. You're comfortable with that. So to then get away with a 15 hatchery into free pool, you just feel absolutely great. That puts you, it makes you feel like you're in control of the game, and just that feeling is as important as actually being in control of the game. So this is great for Ro8.
So I appreciate you.
Thank you.
I don't want to get too mushy with you right now. We'll wait.
It's hard to hold back, though.
A lot of gateways do go down. 3 in the top right-hand corner. That's, of course, not where an Overlord is, but Ro8 actually is already having his Overlord chased off and corralled by the Stalker that was chrono boosted out. Now, when it was chrono boosted, I had a feeling that it was going to go across the map, try to see if it can't do some damage there, but there's a pylon dropping outside Ro8's base. He's denying scouting. Are we going to see a gateway timing?
I think we absolutely are. He's chrono boosting out Warp Gate, constantly chrono boosting out Warp Gate. He already has those 3 gateways down. And if we look at the timing, Warp Gates normally open up around 8 minutes. This is looking like it might be even at 7:30 or so. It's going to be really, really fast. This is before Zerg is supposed to be prepared for it. We see the Roachborn coming down now, but it's still about 40 seconds off. And then he's going to have to build the Roaches. He's putting down 3 more gas. He's still producing drones. Ro8 has no idea this is going to come.
You know what? This is actually a pretty popular build. We saw this a lot at Home Story Cup. The Twilight Council is going to be usually a Blink follow-up, sometimes Dark Shrine, but you warp in a few rounds of Stalkers, and you can apply a lot of pressure to speedless in Roaches and Lings. I mean, it's a pretty safe macro harass opening. And all Puzzle's really doing to hedge his bets here is Chrono Boost out that Warp Gate upgrade, which is good anyway, so it's not like it's a huge risk, I would say.
Yep. And the 4 Zealots coming in, and as I said, this is way faster than Zerg. Feels like they're supposed to be prepared. However, Ret does have 6 Roaches on the way. He got wind of it. He knew something was coming. And those Roaches, he did that properly. Those are all spawning at the 3rd base. As soon as those pop, he's going to be able to hold this off. But he does lose the Queen. He's losing drones. The Roaches are now out. Zergling's coming to join, but he's fighting with the drones. That means he's going to lose those to the Zealots.
Yeah.
That was not perfect control by Ret, but he will hold this off pretty easily.
He's actually already lost 4 drones, and again, that's not, that's not the biggest deal, but it's more than necessary. I think if he gets those guys away, these Zealots don't do anything. They do paint damage to the hatchery, and quite frankly, it can survive those scratches. Zealots do get warped in, but they're just going to back away as the Roaches did pop out fairly early. I mean, did Ret see something, or is it just his instincts?
I'm not sure. He might have seen the gas timings. He might have seen the timing on the +1 upgrade, because that Forge was right there under the Overlord. But something tipped it off. He had Roaches out in time for it. The only unfortunate thing there was the control on the drones. And the big thing here is Ret might be being a bit too greedy right now. He's making a lot of drones. He's going up to 6 gas, actually. He doesn't have a macro hatchery just yet.
Yeah.
And Puzzle is following this up with 2 base Blink Stalker, as you said. So if Ret's not careful, he's going to get caught over-droning, as he is prone to do.
He does have +1 range attack in that Evolution Chamber queued up, which does suggest he's looking to do kind of the Roach timing, which is really popular on this map. And how does that line up against a 2-base Blink Stalker build?
Everything comes down to control and how many drones you make. And actually, fourth hatchery. But really, this is just kind of his macro hatchery that he's putting down in the location of the 4th base. Also putting up the infestation pit. So yeah, he is not going. Oh, we were actually wrong on both accounts. 3rd Nexus coming down. No 2-base Blink Stalker. And infestation pit and the 4th base coming from Ret. So both transitioning into a macro game.
This is awkward. Well, they're going to turn away, but Sentry's actually denying the information of the 3rd going down just yet. I want to see...
And this Overseer sees the Twilight Council and 6 gateways there, so Ret could think that it is a... Well, he's still producing a couple of drones, so I kind of doubt he thinks it's a 2-base all-in. But from the information he has, he can't be absolutely sure it's a 3rd Nexus.
To your point, Greg, I think that's something that was in danger. He still hasn't seen the Nexus actually just yet.
He's making pure units now.
Yeah, and Puzzle's trying to sell it.
Yeah.
He's trying to sell it.
An offensive blink forward, killing off quite a few units. Speedling not done just yet.
No, and he has no intention of following through with this because he's actually still building probes. Typically, if you're going to do like a fake Nexus,
actually he's warping in units at this forward. It might be a Nexus cancel. He's warping in Stalkers at the forward pylon.
There is no wall in there. I think you're right. I think this will be a Nexus cancel.
And
there it is. It gets canceled. Surprise! Puzzle wants to put it on the line right here. This is a huge investment. So there's almost no going back from here.
Maybe indecisive. He's sending Zerglings around. That could work. Depends on Puzzle's force field. But the entire army of Puzzle is warping around the back of the 4th base. Oh, Sentry's going down for free. Miscontrol there by Puzzle.
Yeah, this is actually, I mean, it's going to come down to Blink Micro.
But Ret's army is really, really split up. He's losing Roaches for free here.
But
he takes down the pylon.
Yeah, the pylon, or not the force field,
there's
the
another pylon here.
And he does the circle around. He's building more. There's still a probe over here. Ret has a sandwich geared up and ready to go, but okay, he's actually going to try to pick up that pylon, but he might lose a few Roaches for it. Force field's going down a little bit earlier than I think the Protoss player would want, and he's in contact with the Roaches. They're doing a lot of damage. The Stalkers don't have a lot of tank ability or DPS, and Ret seems to be smashing.
Run over. Ret's just destroying that. He has 9 more Roaches in production. Just so many more Roaches in production.
That's it.
And Puzzle's lost the backbone of his army. He still has lots of Stalkers, but no Blink Micro is really going to save this.
Another
He's going to lose the pylon as well. And cancels a couple of the Stalkers.
That was such a key moment because actually he could have blinked up there, and with the Roach count dwindling, reinforcements could have been really critical, but as it is, there's no way for him to reinforce. And by warping in back at home, he can't be aggressive. Like, that's the end of the aggression. Now he falls back on 4-base Zerg versus 2-base Protoss.
And 3 Infestors in production. Ret behind that. Ret was being pretty greedy. He made a lot of drones. He made an infestation pit. He made a 4th base. And he still held that off, which means he's now in absolutely incredible position. Now, 3rd Nexus is coming down, but he might not even be able to hold on to that with so many units flooding in here from Ret.
He's invested so much in this aggression. He does have +2 range attack, but on the flip side, Zerg player's getting +2 range attack for himself. But to your point, by adding drones throughout that aggression, actually there's a weird Zealot at the natural of the Zerg. I don't know how he got there.
He did get a couple of drone kills. This pylon over here, he probably warped in and just ran it in.
I was going to say,
that's a smart little move from him, but just one Zealot obviously not going to do game-changing damage.
Worth trying, but we're going to have a poke here from Ret, and this is interesting. I think it's enough.
He might be able to force a cancel on that, but there's a lot of force fields. Good force fields from Puzzle.
Force fields.
He needs one more to... He does block it off entirely. He's killing lots of Roaches. Good control from from Puzzle. Infestors join the battle. If he gets one good fungal and runs in there, This could be pretty bad, but great force fields from Puzzle here.
Amazing force fields. And honestly, any less force, I mean, it's a weird way to say this, but any less good force fields there and he's in trouble. He might have taken too much, though, off us and Blink. Yeah. And Rhett's still here. I think Puzzle anticipated him running away, and he got a little bit antsy with wanting to kill those infestors, but Rhett's going to secure his retreat.
But really, Rhett was just kind of like throwing those units at Puzzle. He was droning up behind it. He has more infestors on the way. +1 Carapace started as well. The only odd thing is he has not headed up towards Hive Tech just yet.
A couple of Overlords have gone Renegade. They've decided that they're going to take out Puzzle with
okay.
Well,
Rhett, in true Rhett style, is already at 200 supply, and he probably has a good 5 or 6 additional Overlords around the map, so he can afford to lose those.
Part of the swarm, they'll be able to poop Venomous Creep, but at right now they just simply can't.
A little Stalker poke from Puzzle. That's pretty brave, given that there are infestors with Fungal out on the map, but he does get away. He kills a drone or two. And if Rhett doesn't notice that, that's one of the gas drones. That's actually a pretty big percentage of the gas income.
Well, I mean, it's a big risk, we say, but to be honest, he's so far behind. He's down 40 supply. I mean, just in every way, shape, and form. I'm not going to break it down entirely because it's like pick your poison. He's behind in it. So Blink Stalkers offer that mobility for him to have a chance to take an advantageous way to get back in this game. As it is, Rhett's closing the door and slamming it shut. A 5th hatchery going down at the lower right-hand side. He's added the 2nd Evo chamber. And there's the Hive being queued up as well as the Spire. What you do from here is exactly as IdrA said at the beginning of the game. You're going to put down 30-ish Spine Crawlers, defend the Broodlords, and then lull your way to victory.
The interesting thing is Puzzle's actually ahead in Harvesters. It's 76 76 probes to 72 drones.
I'd slap you if I thought that was... It is true.
It is true. It makes no sense whatsoever.
How does Rhett let that happen?
How does Rhett, of all people, let that happen?
Know.
And he's looking through attack, and that's a lot of units and a lot of infestors. Everything's going to come down to the force fields from Puzzle here, but he really has no high-tech units. He doesn't have Colossus yet. Doesn't have Templar.
I think he's just sharking around. I mean, you want to get rid of some of the energy off these infestors. You don't want to lose them, but this is a really key moment in time. The Zerg player is maxed, and while you do lose some supply by building things like Spine Crawlers, you can't rely on just Spine Crawlers. You don't want to sit on this army into the late game. So he's going to try to trade this out and use the infestors to get that trade really cost-effective.
Pulls back. A couple infested Terrans coming out, looking for the fungal.
Good
Big
fungals.
fungal there, and not perfect force fields. The Zerglings all get in, surrounded from the bottom as well, and he's now clumped up perfectly. If any fungals can get off on that army, it'd be absolutely devastating for
Those
Puzzle.
Initial force fields do keep most of the infestors out of range, and as the
Really,
ground army gets
really good
dried
force
up,
fields.
Puzzle's saying, wait a second, these infestors might be undefended.
He can blink in and kill those off. You avoid these infested Terrans, run down the...
You done goofed, Rhett. You done goofed.
No
Here
burrow.
come the Blink
All of
Stalkers.
those are going to die. There's an observer there anyway. One good fungal that might save them, but they're still undefended. They are all going to die. That's a huge gas infestment loss for Rhett. But lots of units flooding in to take out the 3rd now.
And that's the problem. Puzzle can't be everywhere at once. The Stalkers doing what they can, but as they get warped in, they're getting shot. Why did you step in through that warp? If I was a Stalker, I would not go through that door. And now the Colossus is getting targeted down, and it dies. And honestly, these roaches will get cleaned up over here, but look at the map. It's
covered in a stream of red.
Yeah.
Rhett just has drones everywhere. He has 5 bases running, full production. He has Hive Tech up. The only thing he's behind on his upgrades, and that just doesn't matter at this point. There's too many units. He even has a Greater Spire on the way for Broodlords to finish him off if Puzzle holds on here, and it doesn't look like he's going to be able to.
I feel like the Nexus is almost a right-click from dying, but at this point, the Blink Stalkers will clean up these roaches. And behind this, another kind of...
just wave after wave of units coming in and wearing Puzzle down.
This is like a more flaccid wave of roaches, though. This doesn't really belong here.
It does, but at this point, he's just keeping him busy until he gets up to Broodlord. He has such an account. Actually, no drones down here.
He's trying to buy himself
Not a lot
time.
of drones here. Rhett, just surprisingly, very opposed to his normal style. He's playing very aggressive, relatively low drone. Still lots of bases. He has the potential to drone up and beyond 5 base income anytime he wants.
Well, there's blood in the water. I think Rhett thinks he could almost just win it with these roaches, and quite frankly, I don't disagree with him in that regard. It's 39 Harvesters killed by Rhett to just the 20. Well, 26 is a lot from Puzzle as well. I'm not quite sure where he got all those kills. Did I look at that right? Yeah. Did I just...
That means Rhett's killed 39 and Puzzle's killed 26.
I just don't know where the 26 drones died. There might have been some harass we missed or something.
Yeah, I don't know, actually.
Okay, well, 76 drones to 54 probes. The problem, though, is, again, army saturation. We're looking at just Stalkers, 1 Colossus, where the Zerg player is starting to add that Broodlord composition. We have Corruptors coming out. The Hive is complete. Greater Spire is complete. Fleet Beacon does go down, but it's kind of a toss-up. Yeah, okay, you get a Mothership out, but right now you can't even afford to make Archons.
Yeah, the Archon toilet won't really exist without the Archons. So the Mothership will just buy him time, and then the Broodlords will pop out and kill him off anyway. And Ret actually has a ton of gas bank, because even though he didn't have any drones here, he did have the gas mine the entire time. Means he can afford a bunch of infestors and a bunch of broodlords. A small army coming down here from Puzzle to harass this base, but that's not going to be able to kill it off. And at the same time, Ret may just go in for the kill here.
Red has a strange 6 circling counter at the third that's actually going to work. It's doing some damage there. Meanwhile, again, that small army on the lower right-hand side. But I just want to kind of say, like, I think Ret's played this game beautifully. He's been aggressive at the exact right moments, trading out exactly what he needs to. And Puzzle, to his credit, he's done amazing in getting information all game long. He's actually going to snipe that lower right-hand side base.
He does get that hatchery. Really odd by Ret. He was going back and forth. He didn't know if he wanted to attack or if he wanted to defend. And it Puzzle just enough time to actually kill that off.
Yeah. It was like a surgical force. It was very specifically 3 Stalkers, 2 Zealots, and they just killed the hatchery.
Yeah, that was really impressive. I'm not sure how he made that read, but it worked out just right for him.
Mortal is
just a tiny army here.
Yeah, it really is. I think he's just, oh, geez. Well,
I don't know about that blink forward. If he gets around, he does get 2 Broodlords, 3 Broodlords, 4th as well, but he's going to lose all of the Stalkers here.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so 1 Broodlord's...
That was a cute little move, but he's just going to get overwhelmed now.
He might just accidentally die to this ground army now. Yeah. Roaches are walking forward. Infestors throwing their beach balls up front. 1 Colossus dancing as best as he can, but it's just simply not enough. The Roaches, the Zerglings, and the Infested Terrans stampede over this third, and that's it. Ret takes the first game. Liquid Ret executing in beautiful fashion the fake Broodlord tech switch, and then just
actually going to
the
point of putting 5 Broodlords right in front of him and inviting him to kill them. That was a very dedicated fake.
You want this, don't you? Well,
that was...
I can't blame Puzzle. I mean, he can't actually fight the Broodlords if they do morph.
He had no choice at that point.
Going forward was the best he could do.
Incredibly well done by Ret, and a little sloppy ending, but it doesn't really matter at that point.
I mean, winning the first game in a best-of-5 is such a big deal. Again, that's going to calm your nerves. It gives you kind of space to realize, okay, the ball's in Puzzle's court. I just have to react. And Ret is a reactive Zerg. You talked about how he wants to play that more passive style, absorb the Protoss, and then counter with his Broodlords. We'll have to see if he ends up getting there. But before we go to a commercial break, guys, let's give some love to the sponsors. Interceptor Group, CyberActive, Esports Canada, Epson, ISO, Kingston HyperX, GameMinder, iBuyPower. Give them some love, guys. A round of applause, please. Very good. Okay, and before we get into our next match, game number 2, we're going to go to a commercial break. We'll be right back.